Hi, I'm Lindsay Leinbach. And on April 13th, I'm going to have a 90-minute workshop on a big shot of mindfulness in the arm, quick tips to be able to be more mindful and more happy and more resilient. So what I want to give you right now is a bonus tip, mindfulness and driving. What? You can practice mindfulness and drive? Absolutely. Actually, it's one of the best places you can practice. I mean, how many times have you driven to work or driven over to a friend's house and you didn't even remember the drive? You were on absolute automatic pilot, right? That's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is being in the present moment without judgment, just sitting there and observing what's really going on. So you can practice that while you're driving. I mean, really see the drive. Look and see it for the first time, that beginner's mind. And when you practice doing it in the car, then that will translate into the rest of your life. But let's take it a little step further. Okay, road rage. Let's get right into that. What do you mean road rage? Well, maybe you haven't had road rage, or maybe you haven't even seen road rage in a while. That's because there's been no triggers. No one's been driving, but everyone's going to get back on the road. And so what happens when you have road rage? So you're driving along and someone cuts you off and all of a sudden you get so angry, right? You take it personally. And what happens is you start telling yourself a story and you're the main character in the story. And you have those other people as being part of your story, like they were there to set you off. All of a sudden you're in one of those movies and they're the villain. And your brain just jumps into villainizing them, making them like, oh, they're doing it to you. Oh, that's the, for lack of a better word, dumb blonde. Look what she did. And so you generalize. You don't even realize it, but you go into that lower level tape recorder thinking, and you put it out there as if someone's attacking you on your story in your movie. Well, there is no movie. You know that. That person hasn't been read the script. You're inventing the script. Now let's take it the other way. You're driving along, and I don't have road rage, but someone that, I cut someone off by accident and they start getting really angry at me and they start having road rage. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? They have a movie in their head. They are the main character and they are vilifying you. They're projecting out on you that you're a danger and that they have now written a story and a character line. I didn't volunteer for that character line, and that character line has nothing to do with me. It's a character line within their own brain, something that they have seen before or witnessed before, and they just fill in the blanks. Well, I'm not volunteering. I'm not going to enter their movie. No way. So I just won't. I mindfully realize, wow, that person has a story going on. And it is really coming from this movie, this script of anger and defensiveness and feeling lack. That's where that's coming from. And I'm not going to feed into it, because as soon as you feed into their storyline, then their brain goes, see, I wrote the right story. Aren't I smart? Let's keep playing out this storyline. Let's keep making the movie. See, the movie is all about me. Well, I'm not going to validate anyone else's story that I'm not participating in. So they're doing it themselves. So you just stay in a calm place, don't validate and move on. Actually, what I often do is actually bless the person, because I realize that they have this movie and the script that's very painful playing in their head. So instead of feeling fearful for them, I feel like I want to care about them. Now, I don't get out of my car and go give them a hug, but I don't participate in their story, and then I send them positive energies. Now, when it happens to me and I see my story go off and I realize I'm in a character and I'm the main character and I'm projecting out to other people, then I take a breath. This is when you observe what you're doing mindfully. Don't judge it, but realize, wow, I have a story of defensiveness going on, or of anger. And that has nothing to do with the person who just cut me off. I don't know why they cut me off. It has everything to do with how I feel about my life right now. Maybe I feel like I'm a little out of control and that person's validating it. And so then I start making that movie. So this is where road rage comes from. It comes from your own head or from their head. I'll give you a really good example. One time I was sitting at a light. All of a sudden someone was honking their horn and it was just chaotic. And it was like, what is going on? Crazy drunk person. I mean, that's what's going on in my head. That was the story. My brain wanted to pull out a story why someone would act so crazy. And so then I looked in my rear view mirror and I realized this person is now driving down the side of the street while I'm at a stoplight, and it's going to go through the intersection and they're honking. And I'm like, oh my God, mania. And then I just, okay, Lindsay, relax. You're safe. You don't have to have this story. And I looked over and I realized the person that was driving was holding somebody up in the seat next to him that was unconscious. And then I realized, it makes me want to cry. I realized they were driving to the hospital because I was only 1 mile away from the hospital and they were trying to go and save this person's life. And here I had a story going on that they were some drunk person. Wow, I really had to check with myself and realize, man, I need to be more mindful. I need to not jump to these conclusions. I need to realize that this person was saving someone else's life going to the hospital, and I need to not vilify them or make a movie about them where it wasn't happening to me, but then I needed to pray for them. And so that's what I did. And to this day, I don't know what happened, but I know that they made it through the intersection safely. I knew they were 1 mile away from the hospital. And so I prayed. So this is another thing I do when it comes to driving. When I see an accident or I'm in a traffic jam because of an accident, I don't make the story. They didn't get in an accident about to cause me pain or problems. I think to myself, wow, okay, well, I have a time to just relax. And I send whoever is in the accident or all the first responders there, I send them energy and I send them love. And it makes me think of a story that a woman named Carolyn Mace said, and I saw her live once, and she said that she knew someone who was driving down the street and came to a traffic jam. And in the traffic jam, it just stopped and she didn't know what to do. And then she realized there was an accident ahead. So she sat in the traffic jam. She just sat there and she prayed for this person. Well, sooner or later she could go on, and there was an ambulance there and everything, and she could go on. Well, months later, this woman came knocking to the door of the woman who was in the traffic jam, and she had flowers. And she said, I know you don't know me, but I almost died in that traffic jam you were in a couple months ago. And I left my body and I rose up and I saw a beam of light coming out of your car. And I realized you were praying for me. And I saw your license plate. And when I got better, I remembered it. And I wanted to come and thank you. I don't know what to say about that story, but I hold it as true to me. So when I'm in a traffic jam and I realize someone's had an accident, instead of getting upset, instead of creating a story that the world is doing something to me and I'm now, trapped and I can't get to where I want to go, I pray for the people who are actually having misfortune, that might be in pain, that the highest and best is not only happening for the people in the traffic jam, in the accident, but also the first responders. And I also pray for all the family members who are about to get phone calls. So this is what we can do with mindfulness and driving. We can grow, we can learn, we can see the positive, we can be part of the solution instead of the problem. So I'm gonna give you one more big tip that I do when I drive for mindfulness. When I come to a light, okay, when I come to a light, if I see it green, I go to gratitude. I pull mindfully and go, oh, I'm so grateful. I get to go through the light and I think how grateful I am that this has been a great day and it's a beautiful day and everyone's safe. So I go to gratitude and it fills my heart. When I see yellow, I think mindfulness. I have to be absolutely aware. Click, right. Awareness is telling me, be aware, wake up, Lindsay, right now. Yellow means wake up. And when I see red and I have to stop, Instead of thinking, oh, I don't get to go, I get to think, oh, I get to relax. For this next whatever minute, I get to sit here and just calmly breathe and relax my body. I've been given the gift of this minute to do nothing. So every traffic light either brings out gratitude, awareness, or helps me relax. It's a wonderful tip. Now, these are just some of the tips that I'm going to be talking about, and actually much more in our April 3rd mindfulness shot in the arm, right? Shot in the arm. It's our reboot and reminders, because a lot of the stuff you might know, but you just don't remember it. And I'm going to talk about tips on how to deal with anger. I'm going to talk about tips on how to deal with being overwhelmed. And I also am going to give tips on how adult children can deal with their adult parents, and how adult parents can deal with their adult children. Because a lot of times there's triggers that go on in that. And as our families come together, we have great gratitude, and we don't want to be triggered by each other. We want to come together with gratitude, love, calmness, centeredness, and creativity. So I hope that you will join me on April 13th. It's at 2 o'clock Pacific Coast time. I will tape it, so those who can't make it can also see the tape. Thanks so much, and mindfully drive. Have a great day.